The views or opinions expressed on Ann Arbor Inclusive do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the City of Ann Arbor and the Commission on Disability Issues. For more information about the Ann Arbor Commission on Disability Issues, please visit a2gov.org/disability resources.
Hello everyone and welcome to Ann Arbor Inclusive. I'm Zach Damon. We have a wonderful show for you today as Angela Diuble and daughter Abigail of the Diuble Family Foundation joins us in studio. And ladies, how are you today?
We're good. Thanks
Wonderful,
for having us.
Wonderful, thank you. It's our pleasure. And so I'd like to just jump right in if we may. So you started the Diuble Family Foundation to support research for treatment and cures, to provide public awareness and to promote the well-being of persons with disabilities or the underprivileged. Now, can you talk about how long the foundation has been in existence?
Sure. Yeah, we started about a year ago in June, and Abby was actually the one that kind of got us on that track, got the ball rolling for that.
So, Abby, then, what was the prime inspiration for you?
Well, a tornado hit our house in June of 2015.
Oh, wow.
And we wanted to change people's life, basically, by having these devices to give to people at no cost. But to be able to do that, we had to start our 501c3, which is Diuble Family Vision.
Yeah, wow, that is amazing. And so something, you were in need as well, and of course your family was due to the tornado, but then you went through that, and of course through your own situation said, you know what, others are going to need the same service as well. And I think that is just wonderful. But here's the other interesting fact too, is that Usher syndrome, which is what your sister Lillian has, is a retinal disorder called retinitis pigmentosa, or RP, where people also have a hearing impairment. Currently there is no cure for Usher syndrome, and those who suffer from it will often become blind and deaf. But your sister has not let her disability get in the way. So can you folks talk about some challenges that she's faced early on, but of course how you and Lily herself has overcome those?
Want me to start? Yeah, I think early on the issue with Lil was that she was born hearing impaired, and then over time we realized she probably had this eye problem that we figured out was a retinal problem. Sure. And I think the biggest thing that I worry about as a mom, are social issues. Like, sure. Okay, is she going to get invited to play dates? And because she wears hearing aids, she can't go to a swimming party maybe, or, things like that. And so I think early on, the issue was more about inclusion. Sure. And it continues to be, a big issue that, right. That we worry about. But she just is a go-getter, so she wants to be involved in all these things, even though it may be more difficult for her. Like, for example, she likes to play soccer. So we have to work on, maybe plan B of, okay, well, if she can't see out of her right eye, then maybe she plays on the right side of the field and she uses her left eye to look peripherally. Yeah. So I think what we work for is trying to come up with a way that this thing that she wants to do will work for her, like the modifications. Yeah, all about adaptation. Exactly, exactly. Not that she can't do it, but we just come a different way, maybe. Well, that's right. A little different angle.
Well, that's right. And not only that, but I mean, from my own experience of having a disability, I think adaptation is a great thing because you're able to think outside the box, and in turn what it does is it helps other people as well. Right. Because you say, hey, wow, I figured out a way to do this. Guess what? You have a similar situation, try it this way. Right. So I think it's great that you guys are on the forefront of that and always helping Lily achieve her goals. So I also would like to know too, because I think this is very interesting, what are some of the biggest misconceptions of Usher syndrome?
Well, there's a lot of talk these days about those invisible disabilities, and, right. and that applies to Lily, really. I mean, she wears hearing aids, but she's had them for so long that she doesn't have any speech issues. Sure. She wears her hair long most of the time, okay. So you can't see her hearing aids, so you may not know that she can't hear you, or in a loud environment, for example, or she can't read your lips if you're not actually looking at her, when you speak. Yeah. So she misses some things that may be important. Okay. there's that. There's other things about like her vision, for example. She has issues with depth perception.
Okay.
So, if it's a not well lit room and there's objects in her way, or there's a step down that she can't see, she may stumble.
Right.
So she's pretty good about it, that she'll just grab the arm of the person next to
Okay.
her, which is fine, when it's us. But
Yeah.
like she did it to a kid in school one time, and they were like, "Why are you grabbing my hand?"
Yeah.
And so I think, and she said, "Oh, I need some help. I can't see very well right here."
Mm-hmm.
But as a teenager, sometimes
Yeah.
that doesn't go over real well.
Right.
So we have issues with with that. But
Yeah, but I think it's important to note too that just because she has the Usher syndrome, it doesn't mean that it affects her intellect.
No,
It just
right.
affects
No, not at all.
those physical environment around her.
Yeah,
And so,
exactly.
I think that's an important thing for viewers to know.
Yeah.
Is that just because someone has an impairment and it affects their physical world, it doesn't mean that it affects their intellect.
right, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, your team at the Diuble Family Foundation is working very hard to raise money for the Foundation Fighting Blindness, or FFB, in support of your daughter Lillian. And so far, you started last year, but of course, this past year you raised over $150,000 for research. And so I'm curious, because that is wonderful, what goals does the foundation have set for this coming year?
Yeah, well, so I need to clarify a little bit.
Okay.
So we've been working with the Foundation Fighting Blindness since Lily was in 2nd grade.
Oh, wow, okay.
So since that time, Lily and Abby and their teams for the Vision Walk
Sure.
have raised over $150,000 for FFB.
Okay.
So we've had our foundation going just this past year,
Sure.
and we've raised almost $15,000.
Oh, great. Yeah.
In the past year for these different projects. So
Right.
we are helping, we're giving money to Foundation Fighting Blindness, but we're also setting aside money to work on Abby's WHIP project.
Okay, got it. So you're sort of a nexus of charity. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
We're spreading it around as
That's
best
good.
we can for things that we think are important.
Yeah.
Or maybe don't get enough press, let's say.
Sure.
We want to make sure these things get out in the forefront.
Well, and I think that that's great that you're doing that, bringing other wonderful causes that are related right to what you're doing, bringing them, as you said, to the forefront of others' thought and being able to help them out. That's just wonderful. And I wish you guys this coming year and many years forward all the success.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So aside from focusing on research for Usher syndrome, you also have started a very interesting program that we talked about before the show, the Warning for Hearing Impaired People, or WHIP program. Can you talk a little bit about that? Or Abby,
Yeah,
do you
you
want to
wanna
touch
talk
on that?
So we created that program to help fundraise for a device that will help someone wake up in a fire, carbon monoxide, tornado,
Sure.
and weather.
Right.
It helps wake the person up at night, and
Wow.
it has a flashing LED light
Okay.
and a siren that goes off.
Wow.
It's
So
really loud.
that-
It's really bright, but it's a bed shaking alarm system.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
your whole bed
Exactly.
actually
So
shakes.
so it's got a bed shaker that's hooked to it.
Sure.
So we picked it. We chose this one. We spent a long time actually looking at the different systems that were available,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally we sort of came up with this one because it's got the weather
Got
part
it.
of it, and that was the thing that really got us thinking about this issue.
Sure.
So it's got it'll do severe weather. So it's hooked up to a weather alarm or a weather system like the national broadcasting
Right,
kind
sure,
of stuff
sure.
or whatever.
Okay.
So it's hooked up to that, and then if there's a storm or whatever, it'll make this bed shaker go off, and it
Sure.
also talks to you, and it's really loud and it's bright, and so even somebody that's visually impaired should be able to see that light. And I
Right.
say see, but notice that there's a light change and it flashes. and
Right.
things
I
like
mean,
that.
there becomes a change in the environment all of a sudden, so they're probably going, "Oh, why is this happening?"
Right, yeah, exactly. Why is this going off? But yeah, it's nice because you can hook it up to different things. So like
Okay.
we want it also to do smoke and carbon monoxide.
Sure.
But also the alarm will go off for like a civil unrest, like a terrorist attack or
Oh,
something
is that
like
right?
that. Yeah, it can.
Wow.
It's pretty adaptable.
Okay.
You can set it for different things that you want it to do. But
Wow.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's really neat. We like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it really serves a tremendous purpose. And Abigail, again, you being so young, but then so aware that people need that, I think is amazing too. And I mean, have you actually experienced that? Have you tried the alarm?
Well, we've tried it
Mm-hmm.
just to test it out.
Yeah, what does it feel like?
Well, at first, since you don't know what the sound makes, it was kind of scary at first
Oh, is
because
it?
it's very loud and very bright.
Mm.
And it rattles right off the
So
table if you
Oh.
just have it on the table.
So if you
Oh my
have
gosh,
the bed shaker's like this big,
Okay.
and you like put it on your pillow or put it on your mattress, and we just tested it like on the floor or whatever, and
Okay.
it like was shaking and rattled.
Yeah, so it definitely works.
Yeah.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. I mean, sometimes I might need that to get up in the morning. No.
Yeah, right.
But no, I mean, like I said, I think it's great that you guys have that and that you offer that, and I hope that many more people can benefit from that, definitely. And Abigail, I want to touch some more on you because, again, just such a remarkable young woman. And, I heard something about you that I thought was really interesting. And you recently were awarded the Governor's Community Service Award, both you and your sister Lillian, in August. And can we get a shot of that? I mean, it is a wonderful award. And can you talk a little bit about that award?
So this award I was awarded from the governor, and we got it in August of 2017. It was really amazing, actually. You have a whole bunch of people that aren't always your same age
Right.
that went up with you.
Right.
I was the youngest person there to be awarded this.
Were you really?
I thought it was going to be more youth,
Wow.
but it was actually like more adults.
Okay. And how old are you now, Abigail?
I am 13.
So 13 years old, the youngest person to ever receive this award. Wow. And how did you feel about that, Angela? I mean,
thought it
as a
was-
mother.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the girls work hard all year round.
Yeah.
And we do it for, our own purpose and our own enjoyment
Sure.
and, our own self-fulfillment. But
Yep.
but it's nice when somebody else recognizes your kids for being good kids or
Yeah.
good human beings. So
Yeah.
we're very proud of them.
Mm-hmm. No, that's amazing. And congratulations to you, Abigail. And congratulations to your sister Lillian also for getting that wonderful award. And I'm sure there'll be many more on the horizon.
Thank you.
So, Angela, too, where do you get this need? I mean, obviously, you've had a daughter that, was born with a disability. But aside from that, what is it that keeps you getting up every day and staying motivated to do this? And not just for your daughter, but for everyone.
Yeah, I think early on when Lily was diagnosed, with the hearing impairment, okay, you figure that out and you just get used to doing the hearing aids with the little baby and that was okay. I was used to it. But
Yeah.
then when we found out that she had the vision impairment and what could happen from that,
Yeah.
it was devastating. I mean, it really was because
Yeah.
you plan this whole future for your kids
Sure.
and this idea of how you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
And that it's a blow to that. It's not going to go the way you thought it was going to go.
Right.
And I was really sad for a few months.
Yeah.
And I'm not typically a sad person, but
Mhm.
but I was sad.
Mhm.
And finally, I realized, okay, I may not be able to physically do something about this,
Right.
but I can absolutely control my attitude about it
Right.
and help Lily to be the best that she can be.
Yeah.
We talk about it like a card game. You were dealt a certain hand of cards, play them to the best of your ability.
Right.
And that has always been my expectation for Lily.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we help her with, adaptations,
Sure.
modifications of things, but my expectation is that she's going to do the work and she's going to, so how can I expect that from her
Right.
if I don't have it for me?
Right.
And so it's really important for me to make a difference.
Right.
Not only for Lily though, but for all kids or this is a terrible diagnosis.
Right.
But you know what? It doesn't have to be the end of you.
That's right.
And so how can how can she get up every day and go do her life if I don't think she can do it?
Right.
And so that's my job. I'm going to help her, and other kids need it too. And
Yep.
so, it makes you feel good about yourself. And there's no reason, if I have the time and the talent and the ability, why can't I make these things happen? And so
Wonderful.
I'm trying.
Yeah, no, you're not trying. You're doing, Angela.
I'm trying.
No, yeah, no. I mean, and you're doing a wonderful job.
you.
And I mean, I think what's interesting about both of you is that with your work with the Diuble Foundation, I really feel like the foundation is a catalyst for independence. I mean, because you're giving individuals as well as Lillian an opportunity to become more independent. Of course, and as a mother, you touched on that you really expect her to go on her own, do what she needs to do as an adult woman in the world, and I think that's amazing. But touching on that point too, Angela, if you don't mind, what advice do you have for other parents that, you know, have young children with disabilities and are sort of at that place that you were?
I think that the easy thing to say is don't give up. Don't give up on your kid. Don't give up on yourself.
Right.
And the thing is we don't know all the answers.
Yep.
But neither do their doctors. This is an evolving field, and
you mean doctors don't know
I
everything?
know, right? It's weird. I know.
Yeah.
But really, you know, I mean, recently, you know, one of Lily's physicians told her that, you know, I don't want you to drive, you know. Well, her vision right now is actually okay for her to drive. Now, she may not have a license for forever, but she does now. I mean, she's got her permit. And he said, well, you're just going to have to live in a big city where you have, you know, public transportation. And I said, why would you tell her that when, A, that's not what she wants to do,
well,
and B, then what? So she doesn't have to strive to do better or to work hard for these things that she wants. And so I think as a parent, when this diagnosis comes, like I said, it's devastating.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily know what to do, but you know your kid.
Yep.
And you deep down know what they're capable of. And I think really just pushing them in these directions so that they have the self-confidence to want to do these things.
Yeah.
And again, you know, you may have to have adaptations and modifications along the way, but you can still do it.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I've never told Lily there was something that she couldn't do. I've always said, yeah, absolutely, you can do, you know, anything you want to do, you can do it.
Yep.
You know, and we learned a nice little saying at the Prudential, you know, when Lily won the Prudential Award. There was a kid that said, you know, my mom says you can't do everything, but you can do anything. and that's, I believe that. I mean, I really took that to heart, you know, like, yeah, you can do anything you want to. It just may have to be modified a little bit.
That's right. And I mean, I couldn't agree more with that philosophy that you can't do everything, but you can do anything. And, you know, it really, you know, proves the point of how important attitude is.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like attitude is everything. Your mental attitude helps you not only within yourself, but also outwardly.
Right, and that was the thing, you know, when we had that diagnosis, we decided, you know, she's not going to be a victim.
Yep.
We're not going to be victims in this. You know, we're going to do what we can with the best of my abilities. And, you know, early on when we were doing fundraising, and she said, you know, she came to me one day and she said, you know, what does it really mean to be blind? Because she was little, you know, and she didn't know. And I kind of explained what, you know, medically sort of what it was.
Sure.
But then she said, is that going to happen to me? And it was a terrible day for me.
Yeah.
But I said, not if I can help it. And that's what keeps me going. Not if I can help it.
Right.
No, that's not going to happen to you if I can help it. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, like I said, I think, you know, you're doing, and I think that's amazing. And so keep up the great work. And, you know, on that wonderful, wonderful mode of positivity, I'd like to touch on something else too. You have a great event coming up this fall called Color My World.
Yes.
Now, Abigail or Angela, can you tell us a little bit about that event and when it'll be?
So we have a Oktoberfest every fall.
Okay.
And this year we're calling it Color My World.
Kind of in a vision sort of sense,
Sure.
you know? Color my world.
Definitely.
Right. So.
And, you know, it's a wonderful event. It's a gala event, right? And you have auctions.
Yeah, we have live auctions, silent auctions. We have music, we have dancing, we have food. We want it to be a big party because that's one of the things, you know, we want all of our fundraising things to be fun.
Sure.
And you know, so instead of just asking people for money all the time, like, oh, donate to this, we wanted to make it be like a party. Like,
Yeah.
come and have this party with us and help us raise money.
Heck yeah.
And so it was such a, great success the first year that we had it. So we've had a couple little, weather-related events that made it not so great, sometimes in the years following, but
Sure.
but really it's a good time. And so every year in the fall we're going to do it, and we hope people want to give us donations of items for auction, but also we have a great website where people can go on and make a donation.
Sure.
So yeah, we kind of fundraise all year round, and we
Okay.
accept gifts and things for this event all
Yep.
year round.
Great. Wonderful. And I hope that, Ann Arbor Inclusive, we can make a stop to that event and have a wonderful
That'd be
time.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. And, you touched on my next point, actually. So if someone is interested in making a donation or becoming involved with the Diuble Family Foundation, how can they get more information and become involved?
All right. Well, we are super proud of our website. My aunt is our graphics design person, and she's done a great job. Our website is diublefamilyvision.org.
Okay.
And there's a lot of information on there. You can kind of see what we're doing, and but there's also a donate button on there. It's got our mailing address if people just want to mail us a check to the foundation. So you can learn all about us and our board and all the fun things that we're doing. But yeah, diublefamilyvision.org.
Wonderful. And I definitely wish you both the best of luck, and I hope you continue to move forward with all the great goals and all the great, wonderful things that you guys are doing. And let's have you on again, and let's have Lily on the show.
All right.
How about that?
We'll see if we can get her to come this time.
All right, great. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
you.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. And I'd love to thank Angela and Abigail for joining us, and hope you enjoyed the program. Please be sure to tune into Ann Arbor Inclusive next month. And as always, stay awesome, Ann Arbor.